Hey everyone, we all know how tough it is to be lonely, whether it's being single or having no friends to talk to. So today I took the time to make this video about tips and tricks on how to feel less lonely. So being single. The first trap people fall into is thinking, I'm single, so something's wrong with me. But we all know that's a lie. Being single is actually one of the most powerful phases of your life, if you know how to use it right. First of all, you gotta change your mindset. Being single is not a curse, it's more of a blank canvas. It's your time to build without distractions. Confidence, hobbies, health, goals, all of it, you can get to it right now. You gotta learn to not chase but attract. Instead of trying to find someone to fix your loneliness, you gotta become someone who naturally pulls people in. You gotta work on your vibe, your purpose, and your presence. That energy comes when you're focused on yourself, on your own growth. So, for this, I recommend you kind of romanticize your own life. You could go on solo walks, cook for yourself, watch sunsets, read, travel, just build nice fits. You got to do things that make you fall in love with you, but not too much. You don't want to be one of those annoying, egotistical people. And you got to invest in self improvement. You can go to the gym, you can style yourself, you can learn new skills. And who knows? After a bit of this, love just starts coming. You don't have to look for it. And also, you got to flirt without attachment. You got to talk to people, you got to make eye contact. But you just don't have to hinge your happiness on it. You have to build social confidence and remind yourself that there is a world beyond rejection. It's not the end of the world. Now, me personally, I am struggling with being single because for some reason I just have to be in a relationship all the time. But it doesn't have to be like that. I need to get used to being single for a while. I got to start enjoying myself and just spending time alone because it's important, okay? In order to be ready for a relationship, you have to be happy with yourself, okay? Because you're never going to be ready for someone else if you're not happy with yourself. Now, if you have no friends, loneliness from lack of friends is usually deeper than romantic loneliness. It makes you question your worth and feel invisible, but here's the truth. You're not broken, you're just disconnected. And connection is definitely something you can build. You gotta rethink the whole friendship thing. You need to stop chasing like a lot of people and just look for a few close people that you can trust. You don't need a big social circle, you just need 2 to 3 real ones who resonate with you. You gotta start small. Most friendships don't start as best friends. They start as small conversations, a couple jokes and laughs, and repeated interactions. Don't expect instant deep bonds. But here's how to actually make friends. You gotta be where the people are. You gotta join clubs, sports, online groups, gaming servers, anywhere where your interests are alive and thriving. And don't think for 1 second that online friends aren't real friends. Yeah, you can't hang out with them, but I've met one of the coolest people ever online. And I'm so glad I can call that person my friend. I've known him for over 2.5 years. And he's someone I can always go to, and I will not be judged whatsoever. We can play together, we can talk about our problems. All it takes is just a couple of messages and a bit of waiting, depends on, well, his schedule. And also, you don't have to wait for others to take the first step. You have to show curiosity, ask questions, remember details. People open up to those who make them feel seen. And I know it's hard to make the first step, but people like someone who makes the first step. And if you don't have any confidence, this is your time to work on it. But if you feel like this still isn't enough help, I've got a few ways to combat loneliness itself. Even while you're working on yourself, loneliness will still find a way in your life, and that's completely normal. The only thing you got to do is just create a routine with purpose. You got to make yourself feel motivated and productive, and you can do that by just making your bed. It's really important. It's such a small thing, and it might be really easy to neglect it, but making your bed is just a start to your day. It makes you feel motivated. And of course, the more structure your day has, the less room there is for loneliness to eat you alive. So do something that makes you proud daily, even small things like beating your record in at the gym or editing a video, or learning a new skill. Building inner confidence pushes that loneliness back. And you gotta talk to yourself like a friend. No self hate, because if you wouldn't say that to someone you love, don't say that to yourself. Also, you can feed your brain connection. Podcasts, music, streams, they can trick your brain into feeling connected. But just don't play sad music that is gonna get your mood way down. There's this saying that stuck with me. You can't heal from loneliness if you wear it like armor. And this basically means that if you use your loneliness as a shield to protect yourself from rejection, vulnerability, or connection, then you'll never actually stop being lonely. A lot of people who feel lonely for a long time start building walls around themselves. They stop trying to connect. They pretend they don't care. They tell themselves they're better off alone, even if that's not how they really feel. That mindset becomes their armor, a way to avoid getting hurt again. But the truth is, that same armor that protects you also traps you. It keeps people out, not just the bad ones, but also the ones who might love you. And while it keeps you from getting hurt, it also keeps you from healing. Alright, that's all I have to say for today. Love y'all. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye. Goodbye now.